Welcome back, book buddies. Today we're going to read a Peppa Pig book. Now this is a big book. It's got 6 great stories because we finally hit 40,000 subscribers. That's 40,000 book buddies reading all around the world together, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you to every single one of you. I am so happy. Thank you so much. So let's get reading. Peppa Pig Storytime Fun. 6 great stories in one book. So we're going to start by reading Peppa's Circus. Then we've got The Children's Fete, Granny Pig's Perfume, Peppa's Sandpit, Grampy Rabbit in Space, and Mr. Bull in a China Shop. Peppa's Circus. Peppa and her friends are visiting Granny and Grandpa Pig. What's that? asked Pedro Pony. It is the circus, wonders Suzy Sheep. No, says Grandpa Pig. It is a tent for Granny Pig's garden party. The children decide to make their own circus. We can call it Peppa's Circus, says Peppa. Granny Pig thinks this is a splendid idea. She fetches the dressing up box. There are lots of good circus costumes in the dressing up box. Peppa finds a top hat. Danny Dog finds some spotty trunks and a stick-on moustache. I want to be the clown, cries Peppa. Too late. Pedro Pony has already put on the clown outfit. Rebecca Rabbit does his clown makeup. Everybody has a job, except Peppa. Peppa can be the ringmaster, says Grandpa Pig. The ringmaster is the best. Yes, nods Peppa. I can be the ringmaster. The garden party guests arrive. Granny Pig shows them into the tent. Ladies and gentlemen, cries Peppa, welcome to my circus. Now, says Peppa, please be very scared of the amazing Candy Cat. Rebecca Rabbit holds up a hoop for Candy Cat to jump through. Growl. Squeak, creak. George, Richard and Edmund come out next. They ride round and round on their tricycles. Don't stop clapping, calls Peppa. Here's the strong Danny Dog. Danny lifts Peppa high into the air. The crowd goes wild. Danny Dog is very strong. Now it is Emily Elephant's turn. She juggles 2 potatoes and an egg. Oop! Gasped the audience. It is the end of Peppa's amazing circus. That, Granny Pig laughs, is the best circus I have ever seen. Hooray! More! Look at the clown, he's throwing some confetti. And is everyone taking a bow? What a great circus. The children's fete. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup. Mr. Bull is checking the school roof. Moo! Shouts Mr. Bull. Who put this roof on for you? You did, Mr. Bull, says Madame Gazelle. Mr. Bull nods. Lovely job. It will last you a lifetime. Madame Gazelle takes Mr. Bull inside. She points to the ceiling. It is leaking water. Drip, drip, drip. Look, she says. It is going drip, drip. You need a new roof, says Mr. Bull. Where are you going to get the money for a new roof? Asks Madame Gazelle. The children have a good idea. They decide to put on a school fete to get the money for the new school roof. It is the day of the children's fete. Danny Dog is in charge of the microphone. Hello, grown-ups, he says. Get your money out for the new school roof. Emily Elephant is in charge of the bric-a-brac store. Roll up, she calls. All sorts of bits and bobs. Says Mr. Fox. This all looks very interesting. Mr. Fox is always looking for bric-a-brac. Balloons, shouts Pedro Pony. Lovely balloons. May I have a red one? Says Madame Gazelle. How much money have you got? Asked Pedro. Madame Gazelle tips all the coins out of her purse. Plunk, 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 plunk. Oh, look at those balloons. There's a giraffe, an elephant, a lion, is it a monkey, and a parrot. I think I would like the parrot balloon, please, Pedro. Suzy Sheep is in charge of the face painting store. Can I be a mountain leopard, please? Says Miss Rabbit. No, says Suzy. I can only do fruit. Okay, says Miss Rabbit. Can I be a plum? Decides Suzy. She does a nice big purple plum face. Mr. Ball comes to visit Peppa. He's got a green face. I'm an apple, he booms. Would you like to try the lucky dip? Asks Peppa. Everyone's a winner. Mr. Ball drops a coin into Peppa's tin. Mr. Ball reaches into the lucky dip barrel. He pulls out a dolly. Can I have a go? Asks Mrs. Cat. Mrs. Cat wins a toy digger. Oh, gasps Peppa. Do you want to swap? Mr. Ball and Mrs. Cat do not want to swap. They are pleased with their lucky dip prizes. Of course they are. That's a lovely dolly from Mr. Ball and a fantastic digger from Mrs. Cat. Freddy Fox calls all the grown-ups. It is time for the mummies and daddies race. Everyone has to get into a sack and jump across the field. On your marks, get set, go! Shouts Freddy. The mummies and daddies have lots of fun, jumping in sacks. At the end, Madame Gazelle has an important announcement to make. We have raised enough money to buy a new school roof, she cries. Again. And there's everybody in their sacks. And he says, ready, steady, go! Granny Pig's Perfume. Squirt. Peppa and George are visiting Granny and Grandpa's house. Peppa is watching Granny Pig at her dressing table. You smell nice, Granny, says Peppa. Thank you, says Granny Pig. It's my perfume, de lavender. Granny Pig's perfume smells like her garden. Perfume is made of flowers, Granny Pig tells Peppa. Peppa asks for a glass of water. Now I'm going to put flowers in it and make perfume, she says. George comes to see what Peppa is doing in the garden. I'm making perfume, she says. It's going to be the prettiest, smelliest perfume ever. Snort. George wants to watch Peppa making perfume. First, I pick a smelly flower, says Peppa. Then I put it in my beaker. George sniffs Peppa's perfume. Blech, yuck, yuck. Blech. George does not like smelly flowers. Grandpa Pig is in the herb garden. Smell this, says Peppa. Pooey, snorts Grandpa Pig. It smells like pond water. Peppa explains that the smell is her special perfume. Grandpa takes another sniff. Oh yes, he decides. It's the most beautiful perfume in the world. Is it, Grandpa Pig? George still does not like Peppa's flower perfume. Take this bucket, says Grandpa Pig. You can make perfume out of something else. There are lots of lovely smelling things in Grandpa Pig's herb garden. This is rosemary, says Grandpa Pig. I like to use it in my cooking. Sniffs Peppa. It smells interesting. Bleh, splatters George. George still hasn't made any perfume. He doesn't like the smell of anything. There must be something you like the smell of, Grandpa Pig says. But I'm just laughing because look, he's not going to use mud, is he? George goes off to find a muddy puddle. He fills up his bucket. Oh no. George runs back. He gives the bucket to Granny Pig to sniff. Actually, she says, that smells quite nice. It smells lovely, agrees Peppa. Ooh. Grandpa Pig sniffs George's bucket. I say, he snorts. That is delightful. What did you put in the perfume, George? Asks Grandpa Pig. George runs back to the muddy puddle. George's perfume is made out of muddy puddles, giggles Peppa. Ah, says Granny Pig. Perfume de muddy puddle. Sniff, sniff. Peppa, George, Granny Pig, and Grandpa Pig all jump in muddy puddles. Granny Pig, snorts Peppa. You smell even nicer than you did before. Grandpa Pig agrees. Maybe Granny Pig should wear perfume de muddy puddles more often. And there's Grandpa Pig smelling the muddy puddle. Sandpit. Peppa and her friends are playing in the sandpit. This sandpit is our desert island, decides Peppa. We will live here forever. If you are going to live here forever, I want it to be nice, says Suzy Sheep. The desert island just needs some houses, says Peppa. And roads, barks Danny Dog. And shops, says Suzy Sheep. Dinosaurs, shouts George and Richard. Yes, snorts Peppa. The desert island can have dinosaurs too. Emily Elephant looks at the desert island. She thinks that it needs trees. Where are we going to get trees from? Asks Suzy. Danny Dog has an idea. We have to drive big trucks round the world to look for trees. The dinosaurs guard the desert island while the others go to find some trees. Hello, Mummy Rabbit, says Danny. Have you got any spare trees? Mummy Rabbit picks up some sticks. Here you go. Peppa and her friends drive their trucks back around the world. They plant the trees. There, says Peppa. We will live here forever. Candy Cat and Zoe Zebra come to see the desert island. It would be really good if it had a lake, says Candy. Danny digs a lake. Now it needs some water. The children pretend to fly around the world looking for water. Pedro Pony is playing on the roundabout. I know where there is pretend snow, he says. We can melt it and get pretend water. This is a pretend mountain, shouts Pedro. Pedro climbs to the top of the mountain. But there is no snow up there. It is melted in the sun. Can't we pretend that it hasn't melted, says Suzy. No, neighs Pedro. It is melted good and proper. Candy Cat spots Daddy Pig. He is drinking from the water fountain. Can we have some water in our bucket, please? Asks Peppa. Ho, ho, snorts Daddy Pig. Of course. Water. Hee, hee, hee. The children fly back to the desert island. Peppa fills up the lake. We've got water, giggles Peppa. Freddy Fox arrives. The desert island is nearly ready. If only it had some flags, sighs Zoe. Mr. Fox takes a look in his van. He has got everything in his van. How about these, he grins. Now the desert island is perfect. It has trees, roads, shops, dinosaurs, flags, and a real lake. We can live here forever and ever, cheers Peppa. Look how happy everyone is. And there's all the children running around the world to find some water. Grampy Rabbit in space. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup. Today they have a special treat. Grampy Rabbit is here to talk about space rockets. Rockets, snorts George. Vroom. The blackboard's got A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and noughts and crosses. Hello, everybody, Grampy Rabbit shouts. Grampy Rabbit has a very loud voice. He holds up a space rocket. It's a bit small, says Suzy Sheep. This is just a model, explains Grampy Rabbit. Oh. The rocket I went in is ginormous. Everyone gasps. Grampy Rabbit has flown to the moon in a space rocket. And there he is. And it says, it was ginormous. Lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Grampy Rabbit lifts the rocket into the air. When you go into space, you count backwards. I just did. He says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Peppa and her friends all shout together, blast off! There I was, flying through space, remembers Grampy Rabbit. Oh, say the children, vroom. When I landed on the moon, says Grampy Rabbit, it was so beautiful, I was lost for words. That sounds nice, says Madame Gazelle. Grampy Rabbit goes on. Did you know that when you're on the moon, you can jump as high as a house? Oh, look how high. Whoa. Suddenly, something strange happens. Grampy Rabbit stops talking. Oh dear, says Madame Gazelle. He has lost his voice. Madame Gazelle asks Dr. Brown Bear to come and help Grampy Rabbit. Dr. Brown Bear looks into Grampy Rabbit's mouth. I see, he says, a very serious case of losing a voice. The doctor pours some special pink medicine onto his spoon. Open wide, he says. Grampy Rabbit swallows the medicine. Try saying ah now, says Dr. Brown Bear. The doctor listens carefully. Ah, booms Grampy Rabbit. The medicine has made his voice much better. Poor Dr. Brown Bear. Grampy Rabbit gets back to his story. I wrote a song on the moon, he cries. Would you like to hear it? No, thank you, says Madame Gazelle. And Dr. Brown Bear, yes, please, say the children. All together now, sings Grampy Rabbit. I got up this morning, I went to the moon, and all I could see was the moon, the stars, the moon, the stars, the moon, the stars, the moon, the stars. Let's sing it together. I got up this morning, I went to the moon, and all I could see was the moon and the stars, the moon, the stars, the moon, the stars, the moon, the stars. Everyone loves singing along with Grampy Rabbit. And there he is, everyone's laughing because that was a very fun story. Mr. Bull in a china shop. Look at Miss Rabbit. Ah! It's a lovely day. Daddy Pig is taking everyone out for a drive. Stop, shouts Mr. Bull. We're digging up the road. Digger, shouts George. George likes diggers. Chuck, chuck. Daddy Pig waits at the red light. Will the digging take long? asks Mummy Pig. It will take as long as it takes, shouts Mr. Bull. Mr. Bull walks off. It's time for his tea break. Oh dear, now we have to wait even longer, says Mummy Pig. Why don't you join us, booms Mr. Bull. Thank you, Mummy Pig smiles. Everyone sits down. Mr. Bull pours out the tea. That's a nice teapot, says Peppa. Yes, snorts Mr. Bull. It's made of delicate china. Mr. Bull puts the teapot down on the table too hard. Oh no, he yells. I've broken it. Oh no, he's broken his teapot. Mr. Bull doesn't know his own strength sometimes. He is very sad. Miss Rabbit has a china shop, says Mummy Pig. She can mend the teapot. Good idea, shouts Mr. Bull. We'll go right now. Mr. Bull drives all the way to the china shop. Miss Rabbit is hard at work. Moo, bellows Mr. Bull. Miss Rabbit looks up. Ah, she wails. A bull in a china shop. I have broken my china teapot, cries Mr. Bull. Miss Rabbit takes a look at the teapot. She frowns. That's very broken, but I think I can fix it. Miss Rabbit gets out some glue. Fixing the teapot is like doing a jigsaw puzzle. The puzzles fit together, says Peppa. There's just one funny-shaped bit left, says Miss Rabbit. Peppa giggles. Miss Rabbit has found the handle. Miss Rabbit gives the teapot back to Mr. Bull. It's as good as new, he bellows. Thank you. Ho ho! Be careful not to smash it again, says Miss Rabbit. I am very good at smashing things, agrees Mr. Bull. Outside the china shop, there is a hole in the road. Look, boss, says Mr. Labrador. Mr. Bull makes up his mind. Miss Rabbit can't have a hole outside her shop. You fix my teapot, shouts Mr. Bull. I'll fix your road. How are you going to mend the hole, wonders Peppa. Mr. Bull grins. We'll dig up the road. Mr. Bull loves digging up the road. And there he is with his teapot. And that is the end of our book. Oh, that was so good. I really enjoyed the 6 stories inside. There they are. There's all 6 that we read together. Thank you very much for joining me again today, and thank you to every subscriber. 40,000 is an amazing number, and I'm so happy. If you enjoyed this book, I'll leave a link below of where you can get it. Do come back so we can read more books together. Please like and subscribe. Bye!